Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to our daily upload here on a Thursday here on Mike Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason. As always, we're going to dive into a very interesting article that I had read from Steelers Depot, and I wanted to talk about it here today. But I got to give them a little bit of credit here. That's where the article that I seen came from, so I want to ensure that I mentioned them. But I thought it was a very interesting topic. And would the Pittsburgh Steelers be stupid enough, to be ignorant enough to go out and bench Justin Fields when Russell Wilson is healthy in order to keep Justin Fields' contract price for 2025 down to a minimum to ensure that they do not have to break the bank to sign him if he all of a sudden just does super well and guides this football team to a very good record? Will this happen, guys? I don't know. I truly don't know. I hope that the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't ignorant enough for that, aren't stupid enough to do that. Why put yourself in that situation? Why open the door to crush a young man's confidence that has just started to build that confidence, that has just started to flourish as an NFL quarterback for the first time in his NFL career? Why would you do that to a young man that you potentially would want to be the future of your franchise over a contract? I don't think the Steelers would do that. And I know Omar Khan loves to get a deal, guys. I understand that. I understand that Omar Khan likes to get things get players at a reasonable price, a reasonable cost, and doesn't want to put the Pittsburgh Steelers in a cap crunch. I understand that the Steelers spend always in the lowest part of the league in terms of cash spent in a season. I understand that. I understand all of those variables, but I do not think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are willing to jeopardize the future of Justin Fields in order to get him at a discounted rate. I cannot agree with that. I don't think that it would happen. And I think that it would be a very foolish move. And I think it would be one move that Omar Khan would really regret after he did it. And also, I think Justin Fields would not want to be in the city of Pittsburgh, knowing that they would have done something like that, because let's face it, guys, it would be ultra obvious. There isn't anything that they can do right now as long as Justin Fields continues to blossom and grow. And again, guys, he's not perfect yet. He's not exactly where you want him to be yet, but the young man has grown this season. And I have been his biggest critic, I feel like, this offseason. But yet I always stood by the fact that this guy busts his ass, he works every day, he comes in there, he has the potential to grow. And I've stood by that. And I always said, I hope that happens. I hope that is the case for Justin Fields. And so far, through 3 games, he has done just that. He has chipped away. He has grown slightly each and every game, just a little bit. Last game against the Chargers, I felt like he took a big chunk out of there, out of the growth process. And I felt like that was one of the things, considering the quality of the opponent. It was the best test that the Steelers had faced so far in this young season. I felt that Justin Fields had to go out there and make a splash, make a big statement in terms of his growth and his ability to continue to shine as the Pittsburgh Steelers lead dog in the quarterback room right now. So, guys, again, the topic, whether the Steelers would want to, bench him perhaps to save a couple bucks in terms of his contract. I don't think that will happen. I do not. And if the Steelers do it, I will consider them very foolish and idiotic. And it would be one of the worst moves in Steelers history, if you ask me. Just my opinion. I don't think that it'll happen again, but that would be a real dirty mark, a real stain on Omar Khan's legacy if that were to be the case, if that would happen. And Mike Tomlin right now has the perfect situation. He could ride this calf injury, guys, frankly, for the whole year. Let's be real about that. He could frankly ride this calf injury of Russell Wilson for the whole year, or until maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers, maybe possibly trade him at the deadline to do him a solid, to get him to a place to where he's going to be able to play. Maybe that's the case. Again, I don't want Russell Wilson to be traded because I feel like depth is the only thing that really can sustain a ball club late in the year. Once all these injuries that happen each and every week continue to hit and hit and hit, you got to have depth pieces. You got to have guys that you can rely on and lean on. And hopefully, by the time, if that were to be the case, that would happen, that Russell would have to maybe spot start for Justin to get them through a couple or 3 weeks. Hopefully the offensive line would be back to a more healthy level to where, Russell wouldn't have to run all around to make plays, and the Steelers could just get through a couple weeks with a guy like Russell Wilson that may not be as mobile right now as Justin Fields is in his young part of his career. And two, why would the Steelers want to mess up a guy that they could potentially have for the next 10 years? That's just a real question that has to be asked when you look at this situation and you look at the headline here. Would the Steelers do that to Justin Fields, bench him for the sake of money? I just don't think that you would risk any type of possibility that a guy that could be your potential franchise guy moving forward for double-digit years to come, I don't think that you jeopardize that no matter what. You can make the money work. The cap is a fictitious number in many instances in the NFL. And again, I know the Steelers don't spend as much cash, but you could up that cash number a little bit in order to save yourself up on the cap a little bit here and there to Fields perhaps isn't a heavy burden in terms of the cap situation for the Steelers in 2025 and beyond. If I'm the Steelers, what I really truly go out there and do is probably, if Justin Fields can sustain this level of play. That's a big if, guys, because it's a big ask to ask a guy that really struggled in Chicago to come out for 17 games this season and possibly the playoffs and really just drastically change for that whole time and, not have any hiccups and just really shine the whole time. It's a big ask. I think coaching wise, you expect that. You want them to be perfect. You expect perfection from your players. But again, it's a big ask, and there could potentially be some hiccups to where I think a fair price, you're looking around $30-35 million. And if you're the Steelers, you could potentially get Justin for that $30-35 million per season over a 2-year deal, fully guaranteeing that 2-year deal, which gives Justin enough time over those 2 years to still make a very substantial amount of money in the terms of $70-80 million over a 2-year period, but yet still be one of the lower paid starting franchise quarterbacks in the league and still be able to have that drive to be hungry, to still want to possibly earn that big contract that the Pittsburgh Steelers, may want to throw out there after that 2-year period. So, yes, this is the situation we're in. This is where we're at. And this is the type of stuff we're talking about. And I understand that we're heading into week 4. I don't want to see Justin Fields, have any type of crazy pressure on him right now. I actually agree with the way Mike Tomlin's handling this. I don't agree with much Mike Tomlin does, but I am agreeing with what he has done here for the Steelers so far in terms of, making sure that the Steelers aren't having a giant drama-filled quarterback controversy and trying to dampen that blow as much as possible. So ride this Russell injury as long as you possibly can if you're the Steelers, and really take advantage of the situation that's at hand if you're Mike Tomlin to keep this drama out of the locker room. Yeah, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. And I don't think Omar Khan's stupid enough to do some of the things that people may be suggesting here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, yeah, guys, we'll be back tonight, probably about 8:30 tonight. I got some stuff to do in terms of my youth football team. We're practicing at the WVU facility tonight. So, that's going to be really special for our kids, for our boys. And I'm truly excited for them. They get to go on a tour of the facility to see what, top shelf facilities look like. I think doing those things, seeing those things creates drive, creates hunger, creates a want in some of these young kids. Hopefully that will be the case here tonight for a ball team that has a big game this Saturday night uh, against the Mannington Gators. So hopefully it'll give them a little bit extra motivation as they get to take a step in their young little football careers, man. So big things happening again with that, and also the channel. Don't forget our pre and post games this weekend. Steelers, Colts in Indianapolis. We will be live before the game. We will be live after the game. Forgive me again for the picture quality right now, the video quality. That will change. I'm doing things from my computer. The webcam isn't as great as I would like it to be to get the frame rate correct right now. I've had to use it in very low resolution. So until I figure that out and buy a new camera, perhaps we'll just be dealing with a little bit of a grainy video. But it is what it is. But we'll be back better than ever as we continue to grow. Don't forget to go and like all of our social medias as we continue to try to build an empire in this YouTube category, this YouTube space of Steelers football. Also, Nick is providing wrestling over on his platforms. So you can get some sports. We are going to add baseball, hockey, those types of things as we start to progress. And this will be your home for all things sports here very, very soon. Also, Nick does WNBA stuff if you are interested in that. We are also being joined by Sean. We are going to add some other cast of good quality voices to the channel here as we move forward. So things will just get better and better. And thank you to our loyal listeners, almost 4,000 of you that join us every single day here on Mic Drop Sports. So until tonight for the live show, which we like to call Steel City Live, I'm Jason. Peace.